How did a man go from thousandaire to millionaire to billionaire to multi-billionaire in his lifetime? Warren Buffett is arguably the greatest investor of all time. And out of all the theories, strategies, and tactics, he relied primarily on one school of thought. And out of all the bullshit out there, this one school of thought is the one thing that can truly make you wealthy. And that school of thought starts with someone else. Benjamin Graham, arguably the only investor better than Warren Buffett. Now, in the early days, Buffett learned from and worked for Benjamin Graham, and Buffett considered him an inspiration. And in the interest of time, let's just say that these two men had something in common, and that is fundamental analysis. The one thing that made Graham famous and Buffett a billionaire. And that is what we're going to explain in depth in today's video, so you can go out there and use it to help you get rich. Today is day 11 of 100 Days of Finance, where the entire goal is to give you more personal finance education in 100 days than most people receive in their entire lifetime. As always, my name is Derek and I got my degree in finance, so you don't have to. Let's get right into the video. So, fundamental analysis. Buffett used it to become a billionaire. So what even is it? Well, in essence, it is a method for evaluating a company or an asset by analyzing its financial and economic fundamentals. And it is a widely used approach in financial markets. Well, I shouldn't say that. It's a widely used approach by professionals who actually know what the fuck they're doing. Now, you don't have to be a professional to make money investing in stocks, but you do need to know what the fuck you're doing. So, in the spirit of threes, what the fuck is fundamental analysis? At the most basic level, it is a process that involves examining a company's financial statements to determine the health and the stability of that company. These financial statements include the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow statement. And these provide insights into the company's revenues, expenses, assets, liabilities, and cash flows. By analyzing these fundamentals, we can calculate various financial ratios. These ratios include price to earnings, known as PE, earnings per share, known as EPS, price to book ratio, known as P to B, and the dividend yield of the company. Now, each of these ratios have their own place, and they each honestly deserve their own video. So yes, I do have a video on each one of these coming out in this series, so make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss them. Anyways, these ratios can help investors understand how the company is performing compared to its peers and competitors, as well as how the performance has changed over the years. This is important. Fundamental analysis also takes into account other factors which may affect a company's health, such as growth prospects, industry trends, and macroeconomic conditions. It also analyzes factors such as sales growth, earnings growth, profit margins, ROE or return on equity, and return on assets to gain insight into the company's health. So let me give you an example. A company with consistently high sales growth, profit margins, and ROE may be seen as financially healthy, and it may have a higher intrinsic value as opposed to a company with low growth and low profitability. On the other hand, a company facing challenges such as declining sales or declining profitability may be seen as financially weaker and thus have a lower intrinsic value. Now, why is intrinsic value important? Well, intrinsic value divided by outstanding shares is basically, in essence, the most that you'd want to pay per share of that stock. Now, in addition to financial and economic fundamentals, fundamental analysis may also consider qualitative factors, such as management quality, or brand value, or even industry competition. Now, these factors all have a significant impact on a company's ability to continue growing, but they are much harder to quantify. Now, let's pause here and touch on what I consider to be the most important part of fundamental analysis, and that is DCF, or discounted cash flows. Now, DCF isn't really complicated, more so complex, and you do need to understand some other concepts like time value of money. So I will be making an entire video on DCF, explaining how it works and why it makes sense and why it's important, because I do believe it is one of the most important parts of fundamental analysis. So stay tuned for that. But a very quick summary of DCF. It basically involves projecting the company's future profits and then discounting them back to today's value. What? Well, basically think of it this way. Let's say year one, company A makes $100, year two, $200, and year three, $300. So that company in the next 3 years will make $600. And let's say there's 100 outstanding shares. So by this math, each share should be worth $6 because $600 of profit divided by 100 shares equals $6. Well, yes, and no, because $600 profit over the next 3 years is not the same as $600 today. So you have to discount it, hence the name discounted cash flows. And you discount it due to risk and time value of money. Again, full video covering this in depth on the way. Anyways, the point of DCF or any fundamental analysis is to come up with a rough estimate of the company's value today. If you take that value and divide it by the number of outstanding shares, you get the value of each share today. If you can buy each share for less than that value, you basically will be doing what Warren Buffett did to make himself a billionaire. So fundamental analysis is extremely powerful, and we will be going over each ratio and concept like a DCF that all together make up fundamental analysis one by one in this series. Because if there is one thing that can truly make you wealthy out of all the bullshit out there, it's fundamental analysis. Now, while it is very powerful, it of course does have some limitations. For example, it doesn't take into account market sentiment or investor irrational behavior, which can sometimes drive a stock price higher or lower, regardless of what the intrinsic value of that company is. But that, in a sense, is what technical analysis aims to solve, which is what we will be covering in tomorrow's video. So make sure you're subscribed and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss that video. I hope this introduction to fundamental analysis was both easy to watch and informative. I love this stuff. It's been my passion for over a decade, and I love to be able to share that with you. Again, my name is Derek, and I got my degree in finance, so you don't have to. I will see you in tomorrow's video.